How everybody doing today? This is Mr. Amen, and this is a Let Them Know Media production. Today I wanted to talk to you all about the power of giving. The power of giving is so beautiful. You know, I remember it was a song, I think it was Red Hot Chili Peppers that said, "Give it away, give it away, give it away now. Just give it away." You know what I'm saying? When you think about how powerful it is to give to the people that you love, to give to your neighbor, to give to strangers, it's a beautiful feeling. You walk away with a feeling of fulfillment, right? You feel really good to do those things. I think as a human being out here living a life, giving is one of the things, that should be categorized with acts of service. Because when you give it away, you feel even much better about your circumstances than when you keep it. And there's universal laws out here, like karma to be one of them, right? That when you give things away, especially when you're doing it from the heart, you get that back tenfold. Every time. You plant a seed, you put some sunshine on it and some water, you're going to watch that thing grow, right? You're going to watch something grow out of the ground, that can give to somebody else, whether if it's food, whether if it's to the economy with some oxygen, right? Just keep giving it away. I know that there's a motto that a lot of people live off of with tithing, and that's give 10%. But I want to introduce something to everybody's mind, and I don't want to hate on no pastor, but think about if you take 10% and you trust yourself and you trust your neighbor and you trust your community, and everybody in their community gave 10% every week. I just want y'all to think about how powerful that would be, right? The things that we can do when we pool our money together, the type of giving that's going on is beautiful when you do things like that. The type of receiving that's happening is something that you can walk away from not feeling guilty. You understand what I'm saying? The Honorable Louis Farrakhan been talking about pooling the money together for, I want to say I've been listening to videos of him talking about that since the 80s. I know a lot of people probably don't like to listen to that, brother, but what I would say to you is this. You can learn something from every human being on this planet. That's why it's called perspective. You can learn something good and you can learn something bad. But one of the good things about pooling your money together is if it's 1,000 people and everybody come with $100, you know how much money that is, right? And what can you do with that amount of money? We living in poverty because we so much for ourselves. We so much for ourselves. But last time I checked, God didn't just create one person. It's many of us. It is many of us. So why is there people starving? Why is there people homeless? And no, we can't fix everybody's problem. We can't, fix everybody's problem. But we can also do our part. And when we do our parts, then everybody at least have somebody that they can lean on. Right? So giving a helping hand is something that you can do. Giving 10% to your community is something that we can do. Giving to our loved ones when they need us is something that we can do. Giving ourselves the benefit of the doubt when we make mistakes is something that we can do. And we just give it away, right? So the power of giving is strong. It's one of those energies that you throw out into the universe. And once it comes back to you, it's always positive, right? It's not going to never come back to you void, right? It's never going to come back to you void. So what I'm trying to say is think about how much we can do when we come together and we give our love and our, our commitment to each other, and we do right by each other. There is immense power in giving like that. So, I want to give everybody a task, right? On a small level. If you see somebody that's hungry and they ask you for money, if you got $1 or $2, give it to them. If you can't, buy them a bag of chips, a soda, some peanut butter crackers, or take them to a restaurant, Burger King, McDonald's, and buy them something to eat. Next time your child asks you for some attention, give them the attention that they're looking for. The seed that's being planted in that child, you can't even begin to speak to the volume of how much that'll mean to that little mind, right? If you can give, to your community will give back to you. That'll start fixing some of the microscopic and macroscopic, problems that we have in our neighborhoods and around the world. We can change the demographic of how we out here living. We don't have to be so negative. We can be positive. It's in us to be like this. So let's make practice perfect. And let's start giving because it's the right thing to do. Not just because you're becoming a yes man or a yes woman, but giving because it's the right thing to do. And I want to end with this. If you giving because it's the right thing to do, you will never feel bad about that, right? You won't think about why did you do that. And then a lot of times the things that you do for people, they come back and let you know how much that means to them. And what better response could you ask for, right? So let's start giving out of the hearts that we have, and out of the love that we have, and out of the commitment we have to ourselves and each other. Because there is a lot of power in giving. And this is Mr. Amen, and this is a Let Them Know Media production. So one thing that I want to ask y'all to do is please like and subscribe. I know a lot of people is watching these videos. Sometimes I get a lot of views, sometimes I don't. It could be hit or miss. But please like and subscribe to the channel so I can reach the people that I need to reach. And let's keep it moving. Let's keep the momentum building. All right? Everybody have a blessed day. Peace.